Hey, you must be Khajika.
I am.
We had a couple of questions for you.
Is it about your reimbursements?
No.
Okay, good. Then you can come in.
What's something you do every morning?
Every morning I meditate and I also make myself a cup of coffee. I'm actually making some right now. Do you want one?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
I know you're making coffee right now, but are you a tea or coffee person?
I am a coffee person in the morning and then a tea person in the evening.
Could you describe ASUCI in one word?
Creative.
What is your role in ASUCI?
So my role is I'm the senior finance and policy analyst. So I make sure the university is in compliance with all the policies and then making sure that all the money is within the budget.
Where did you go for undergrad?
I went to UC Irvine.
What about grad?
UC Irvine. Zot, zot, zot.
What made you want to come back to UCI to work for AS?
That's a good question. I think just the camaraderie, working with the students, and then being able to incorporate my actual degree into my job was really important for me. So when I got this opportunity, I just took it.
I'm sure you're always busy, so what would you do with the full day off?
Oh my gosh, I would sleep in and I would be playing a round of golf right now.
I think every student at UCI can relate.
Oh yeah, totally.
Before this, what did you initially want to do?
I actually wanted to be a doctor, but that didn't really work out for me well because I was not good at chemistry. And so I found this job and I have no regrets at all.
What is something you would like to tell your younger self?
Just to enjoy the moment and to not stress so much because it's not worth it.
What is one language you would want to know?
Japanese for sure.
What's one fashion trend that you tried that you regret?
Oh my God. Okay. So in high school, I used to tease my hair into like this little poof thing. And then I would like pop out the lenses in my 3D glasses. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. But now it totally gives me the ick.
Did cosplay a factor in what field you ended up choosing?
I think in all honesty, it does because you want to find a job that ends up, sustaining your lifestyle. And so finding a job and a career for me that allows me to enjoy my, 5 to 9 outside of my 9 to 5 was really important.
What are your strengths and weaknesses in a professional context?
I think my strengths is organization. I have to be really organized in the work that I do, especially with numbers. And then my weakness has to be that I just get sidetracked so easily. I can be working on a project and something else comes up and I get distracted. So I am working on that by kind of setting myself a timer for like an hour, just focusing on one thing. And then once that timer is done, I can just kind of go do something else.
If you could give one advice to a student struggling on making a decision for a career, what would it be?
I think you should just kind of go with your gut instincts. You know yourself best, and just if your dream job is not exactly what the field you end up going in, it's totally okay. I don't necessarily use my undergrad degree as much as I would like, but it doesn't mean I don't love my job, and it doesn't mean I'm not fulfilled.
On that note, what is one thing you hope people learn from undergrad?
To take advantage of socializing. At this moment, you have so many people who are the same age as you all together in one area. It's so important to make relationships, friendships, just kind of network. And I think that's an important skill to have once you kind of move into your adulthood.
With undergrad, was there something you would have done differently, and what would that have been?
I definitely would have studied abroad. I really regret not doing it just because my friends really enjoyed their experience throughout the whole entire time. And so I really wish I studied abroad.
So let's move on to some of the more interesting questions. What's the most interesting thing you've done recently?
The most interesting thing I've probably done recently is I went kayak camping in Horseshoe Bend in the Colorado River.
I see on your shirt that you like Disney. What's your favorite Disney character?
Cinderella, for sure. I love my classic OG Disney princesses.
And what are your hobbies?
I love to golf, and I like to rock climb a lot too.
What's one food you could eat for the rest of your life?
Ooh, that's a hard one, but it probably has to be sandwiches.
What's one item you cannot live without?
Probably like cloud storage. I have so many videos and photos of my friends and family. If I didn't have as much space as I could, I probably would have deleted all of them and I would have lost it.
What's your favorite dessert?
Cheesecake.
What is your favorite part about being an ACCI?
My favorite part about being ASUCI is just working with the students. All of them are super creative and I love hearing all their ideas and it's just super fun to work with them.
What do you think you learned the most from ASUCI during your undergrad?
I think my biggest lesson in AS was probably being empathetic and being able to work with different kinds of students from different backgrounds. Everyone is so diverse, and so being able to work with them, figure out different projects and solutions to problems was really helpful.
If you could travel to any fictional world from a book or movie, where would you go?
Ooh, that's actually a good one. I think because I grew up with the Harry Potter books, going to Hogwarts and learning magic and representing my team Hufflepuff would be really fun.
What's your guilty pleasure when it comes to entertainment or food?
I think right now I'm really enjoying watching Jersey Shore all over again. I grew up with it, and so watching all the reunions is just like, so funny.
What was your favorite time after undergrad?
My favorite time was probably the gap year that I took between undergrad and grad, being able to just kind of go camping, go hiking, just do all these different adventures and activities that I never got to do in undergrad because I didn't have the time.
What is your typical day like as an ASUCI pro staff?
Okay, so my typical day looks like I come into my office, kind of chill for a little bit, make my coffee, obviously, and then I just get right into emails. I start answering emails, answering phone calls, meeting with students, approving PRs, doing all the reimbursements, and then I end the day with meeting with the administration staff.
If you could be born in any era, what would it be?
Probably like the 70s. I think I'm a big disco person. I loved ABBA. And so the 70s is just like such a fun and time. All the music was amazing too. So I feel like if I had the chance, I would definitely go in the 70s.
What specific tasks do you have to overlook for ASUCI?
Yeah, so I make sure that all of the policies are up to date in recording to state, federal, and state, federal, and the campus. And I also have to make sure that the students are using the money wisely, right? Because the student money comes from the fees, and the students pay into it. So we want to make sure that we're budgeting accordingly, the numbers are correct, and that we also are being fiscally responsible when we're actually doing all the transactions.
What skills or knowledge from your educational background do you find most useful in your current job?
I think data analysis and also just being able to understand policy language, right? So we have all the drafted language, the policies are implemented into the campus, and it's kind of up to us to make sure we're deciphering it in a way that is palatable for the students and making sure that it is applicable to our department. So being able to distinguish those and kind of figuring out, one, why do they create this policy? Two, why are they implementing it? Or what are they trying to resolve is really important.
What is something that is so unique to ASUCI that nothing else can substitute it?
I just think ASUCA as a whole is really unique. It's a program and a department completely run by students, and you don't really get to see that on campus. And so the fact that all the programs, all the leadership, all the decisions are made by you all is so unique because all the academic and research departments, they don't get to do that. So I think just the thought of students running a whole department is unique in itself.
What are you currently obsessed with these days?
My current obsession actually is Formula One. If you watch the documentary on Netflix, super awesome. Watch the races. It's just a fun thing.
If you were in ACCI, what do you think you would be doing?
That's funny. I actually think I would be a high school college counselor so I can continue helping different diverse students being able to get the opportunity to go to college.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
My go-to karaoke song is Clarity by Zed. I don't know if I can do it justice, but I have a lot of passion, so I think that makes up for it.
What's the best part of your job?
It's actually my office if you want to come see. I was so excited when they told me I get to have my own office, and so I went completely wild in decorating it.
Oh my god, your office is so pink. Did
Thank
you paint
you.
this yourself?
Oh, no way, no, but the people at Student Center were super wonderful enough to paint it for me, so I really appreciate them.
Who is your professional role model?
That's hard to pinpoint one specific person because I think there are multiple people in that factor. Like Stephanie and Robert are also great mentors. My parents are entrepreneurs, so they were super helpful in kind of being that influence for me, and also just my coworkers.
How do you handle constructive criticism or feedback in the workplace?
That's a good one. I think you always have to just remember that constructive criticism is coming from a good place, or at least it should. And you should not take it personally. It's for your growth and your self-development. And so whatever critique either a professor or a boss kind of giving you, it's just to make you better as a person, as a worker. And so just don't take it personally and just kind of take the feedback and run with it.
As someone that's been around students and the student life around, what strategies do you use to avoid burnout?
I think over time, especially being an AS and just a student in general, we want to do everything in like at the same time, right? And so being able to create those boundaries for myself are really important. So I do my 9 to 5. At 5 o'clock, I kind of check out and I just focus on what I enjoy, like my friends, my family. I like to go dancing, all my hobbies and stuff. And so being able to kind of create those fine lines and boundaries is really important so that you don't experience burnout.
How would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Ooh, that's so hard. I think one, adventurous. I love a good adventure. Happy and empathetic.
And how do you handle stress and pressure in your work or academic environment?
I think just handling the stress, kind of going back to my boundaries and stuff like that, but also just making sure I have a good support system amongst my friends, my coworkers, and just kind of knowing when I can go to them if needed, and also being able to work as a team. I am a very independent person. I'm not sure a lot of people are, but sometimes you just got to ask for help, and that there's nothing wrong with that.
You seem like such an adventurous person, so what do you think is your dream travel destination?
Oh, New Zealand for sure, 100%, without a doubt.
What's the most interesting place you've ever visited?
Probably my home country, Mongolia. Not that many people know about the culture, and so I think that's probably the most interesting place that people will find for me.
No, yeah, I think so too. If you could give advice to someone who wants to do what you do, what would that be?
I think, I work a typical 9 to 5. I work in finance. And so for a lot of people, that doesn't sound super glamorous, but I think there's a lot of benefits that come to it. It's really stable. And I say, I kind of came into this job completely on accident. And so, like I said, go with it. Don't have such a stuck mind on where you want to go in your future. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but it doesn't mean it's not worthwhile.
Can you describe a moment when you felt truly passionate about your field of study or career?
Yeah, that's a good one. I think just being in higher education focused in policy, seeing all of these different programs and like departments such as basic needs and food pantry. That was a program that was started in ASUCI, completely run by students. They worked super hard, and now it became a full-fledged department here on campus. And I think just working out those different kinks and being able to use my policy analysis to assist with that was really helpful. And it just kind of goes to show that ASUCI students have so many opportunities, and you all are like capable of such great things.
What resource or opportunity benefited you the most in your career?
I think just the benefits of being a UC Irvine staff member, there's a lot of benefits to that, but also just kind of taking advantage of the resources such as the counseling center really helped me over time. And undergrad and grad, I think just being able to talk to someone and get some therapy sessions and being able to kind of speak out the thoughts that I had in my head really helped me a lot.
What's been the most rewarding part of your career?
Oh, I know it sounds cliche, but it's going to be the students. There's a reason why I keep coming back to this department. And I think it's never boring here. The students are always different. They're always changing. It always just kind of keeps me on my toes.
That's all for our questions. Thank you so much for showing your office to us.
Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. Happy finals, everyone. I really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to me, but I do have to get back to work. So thank you so much.